Hi, I'm Chris Toplack of The Signature Spot. In today's Signature Short, which is a wrestling story in 5 minutes or less, is establishing the Great Kabuki. Gary Hart is considered one of the greatest managers in wrestling history. At the same time, I also believe that he's one of the most underappreciated creative forces as well. Look no further than his booking tenures with WCCW and Georgia Championship Wrestling to support this further. Gary was an avid martial arts fan, particularly Bruce Lee, and desired to introduce a character that merged martial arts with professional wrestling. An extra layer to this character was to add a subtle samurai warrior and kamikaze pilot feel to him. This level of unpredictability could capture the imagination of fans. The centerpiece of Gary's creation came to light while he was on tour in Asia, as he saw a magazine with a pictorial on the Kabuki theater. He saw dancers dressed in long wigs and wore wooden devil masks. After Gary explained this plan to his good friend Bruiser Brody, who thought it was a good idea, Bruiser shared some good news during a brief stint in Kansas City. "Gary, I think I found your man, a wrestler named Takikio." Gary then traveled to Kansas City and introduced himself to Kakikio, who mostly spoke broken English. The two chatted about Japanese culture, which Gary had been rigorously studying, highlighting this character while discussing martial arts, samurai warriors, kamikaze pilots, and the Kabuki theater. As it turned out, Takikio was well versed in these areas. Since Gary was the booker, matchmaker, and TV producer for WCCW, Hart presented Takikio with the opportunity to become the Great Kabuki. Gary then asked his new friend where an outfit of the Kabuki dancers, as well as a samurai sword for his character, could be located. Takikio resided in Los Angeles and noted that the items could be purchased there, but it would cost roughly $4,000. Gary then handed him the money, and Takikio immediately gave his notice, since he was now committed to embodying this Great Kabuki character. During interviews on television, Gary Hart started to promote the Great Kabuki as a monster, while stating that he wore face paint after his face was burned with hot coals. Upon debuting in Dallas, many wrestlers in the locker room dismissed this new monster, since he was 5'9" and 215 pounds. The night Kabuki debuted for WCCW, he wore a bright red wig and a devil mask, while slowly entering the ring and spinning his nunchucks during a pre-match performance. It was evident that this was not the usual Asian heel portrayed on television. With a mixture of Kabuki theater and mystery, while switching between a style of wrestling and martial arts, the Great Kabuki was portrayed as a highly dangerous act and earned the respect of the locker room, given how effective this came off. The Great Kabuki was also the first to utilize the green mist attack, which has been replicated by countless performers ever since. It was the brainchild of Gary, after his wife accidentally knocked over some green food coloring, which sparked the initial concept. The Great Kabuki's incredible runs in WCCW and Mid-Atlantic still hold a special place in my heart, and we can thank Gary Hart for that, and of course Takikio for portraying this incredibly memorable character. Follow The Signature Spot on social media for daily content on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and visit thesignaturesspot.com for weekly articles.